Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and today we're going to do something that I haven't done in quite a while. We're going to review some 3 3/4 inch scale action figures. This is from the Marvel Legends Thor Ragnarok line. This is the 2-pack of Thor and Gladiator Hulk. Now, of course, if you remember some years ago, Hasbro decided to use the Marvel Legends branding for all of their, be above basic Marvel figures, which of course makes it rather confusing for a while when you wanted to look for, say, Marvel Legends Spider-Man, but you wanted the 4-inch one, 3 3/4 inch scale, whatever, and you had to be careful in the listings and the price and stuff that you were getting the right figure. So we're starting off recording this on Thursday, or should I say Thorsday, with Thor. Now, when I had seen preview pics of this set, I could have sworn that Thor was supposed to come with 2 of those battle swords. Instead, he comes with a sword and Mjolnir. And this is, thus far, in the entire Ragnarok line, the only Thor figure of like an articulated Thor figure that comes with a Mjolnir. Hopefully there's like a store-exclusive 6-inch figure down the line, but unfortunately this ended up being the weakest figure of the set. Taking a look at it, it does look very much like the way Thor is going to look in the movie. The leg armor is not removable, but there's a lot of little bits with it, and it has to do with the articulation. So we'll go ahead and remove Mjolnir. It's the same Mjolnir we've probably seen with 4-inch figures a lot over the years, and this battle sword, which is done in a nice bronze color, but unfortunately is made of that very thin, soft, cheap plastic. The helmet is not removable, and let's come in and take a look at the head. And as you can see, the best way I can describe this look is this is a very toy-looking head. It's very plasticky, very dead-looking, and I was a little disappointed by that. The other thing I should note is this cape does not like to stay on when you start moving the figure around. It does connect here and here by pegs, much like the 6-inch Marvel Legends figure, and that has problems with it too. Now, the articulation, the hands are, as you can see, molded in certain action poses, but there's no wrist articulation, and it only swivels here at the bicep, which really, I should say at the elbow, which really unfortunately limits things, and if you're not too careful can make things look a little goofy. This arm also features a universal joint, which means you can go in and out and swing around. This arm, which has the shoulder armor, does not have the in and out joint, so you can only move the arm forward and back. That's criminal. That's criminal. I should also mention that the figure tends to feel like it's made of a much cheaper plastic than what we've been getting with other of the 4-inch movie figures. Now, I know with the Marvel Universe figures, at some point they did start using a cheaper plastic, and for a while there, but they kind of improved, but then they went back, and it looks like they went back. You do have bowl-jointed hips here, but because of the skirt, it is limited. You have double-jointed knees, no rotation except a little bit here at the hip where the joint connects, forward and back, an ankle hinge, and of course ankle pivot. Without any real leg rotation, none of that's really useful. And the head is on a ball joint. So let me finish giving you a look here at the detailing. Yeah, that nice slate gray, and I did have the cape come out here on the side. I'm actually surprised it stayed in thus far, but it is red on the back. The colors go through on the back. There's no holster, or sheath for the sword, and there's no little hook to hang Mjolnir on. So that's about it for Thor. We'll go into the better figure of the set, Gladiator Hulk. And here's the star of this set, Gladiator Hulk. First, let me just mention that the figure feels a lot heavier. And while I thought it used some tooling from some of the earlier Marvel Legend, Marvel Universe 4-inch scale Hulk figures, which is possible, it does, this looks very new, because at least from the Hulk figures I had, I remember them being a little bit smaller and basically around the same size as other 3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends, Marvel Universe figures. Whereas this figure is significantly taller, and we'll see at the end when I put him with Thor. He comes with 2 accessories. First, this battle axe, and again, much like Thor, I thought the hammer was going to be included. It is a softer plastic that unfortunately can get a little warped in packaging. Now, to get it in and out of Hulk's hand, what you want to do is slide it down past that textured bit where he grips it, and just slide it through the shaft there. The other accessory he has is this helmet, which is removable, so you can see the face underneath. Now, I think the armor is removable too. I think it pegs in here in the back, but I don't think the skirt's removable. So yeah, you have this nice body paint. This is basically the World War Hulk design, the basis of it. So Ragnarok is going to have a little bit of the story elements from World War Hulk, which was a story done almost about 10 years ago or so. So that's why he has all this great Gladiator armor on. Articulation is actually roughly the same as Thor's. You have almost a 90-degree bend at the elbow, rotation at the elbow, no fist rotation, universal joint at the shoulder, ball-jointed head. Get rather expressive. This arm can move out as well as rotate forward and back, same articulation. Ball-jointed hips. I should mention the legs are a little loose. Double-jointed knees, but unfortunately that's about as far as you can get due to the sculpting of Hulk's legs. And forward, back, ankle articulation with a pivot. And there is a little bit of swivel there at the hip. Now, I forgot to mention with Thor, but with Hulk as well, there is no chest or waist articulation, no ab crunch, no swivel, which is a little disappointing because that really limits a lot of the posing you can do with Thor and Hulk. And as you can see, you know, Hulk really is quite intimidating. He only has the one open hand, and it's a bit of a bruiser. But like I said, it is significantly hefty. So, we'll pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this set. So here's a little bit of the battle pose for both of them. Why I do like the figures, and like I said, this is the only way now in the 4-inch scale you can get a movie, a Ragnarok Thor and a Ragnarok Hulk. The articulation is very limited. I mean, we just had a Spider-Man figure from Homecoming that had almost full articulation, including a waist and chest swivel. So I don't understand why it was removed on these figures. And you know, if you know for the 6-inch Ragnarok line, the Build-A-Figures Hulk, and everyone is saying that's one of the best Build-A-Figures we've gotten. So I mean, and of course the Thor and the Hulk, they're fully articulated. But you know, if you really only have the space or a collector of this smaller scale, this is your only option. With that said, Ragnarok's not coming out to November, so these figures are going to be on the shelves for a while. I guarantee there's going to be at least one sale in that time that you can get this set for a little bit cheaper than what it goes for at retail. I picked this up off of Amazon, shipped and sold by Amazon, and while I'm happy for the price I paid, I would strongly recommend not paying the $30+ that a lot of third-party sellers on Amazon and eBay are selling the set for. This is your old pal Chuck, for Hulk and Thor. He's a friend of mine from work. We will see you next time.